Hello, I'm Adam Rush. I'm with the Idaho Transportation Department. Joining me today is Matthew Condi with AAA Idaho. Matt, thanks for being here today.
My pleasure, thank you.
Each year, the Transportation Department, AAA, and the Idaho State Police encourage drivers to stay safe on winter roads. We have an annual winter safety campaign, and it's called Idaho Ready. Today, Matthew and I want to talk about what you need to do to make sure your vehicle is Idaho ready for winter driving conditions. Matt, let's talk about the headlights.
So if you start looking at a headlight, 4 or 5 years old, it's going to start being hazy, cloudy, yellowing. You can take an aftermarket cleaner and address most of that, but the main point is keep it free of snow and ice.
How about the windshield wipers?
You want to look for any cracking, skipping, any buildup of debris. Those things all affect the ability of the wiper to avoid streaking. And you want to have clear vision on that windshield at all times.
What kind of shape should the windshield be in?
Well, so many people carve out just that one little spot that they can see, but there's a big world out there. So you want to make sure you can see everything, not just to the sides, but directly in front of you, top to bottom.
And how about the tires?
I always do the quarter test. Take a quarter, turn it upside down. If you can see the top of George Washington's head, it's time to think about changing that tire. Now, if you look at winter tires, they stay softer, they perform better. An all-weather tire is good at a lot of things, not great at anything. So you want to have that winter tire, or you want to have some chains handy.
Let's talk about the battery.
When you get to 40 degrees or below, it starts to put a lot of stress on that battery. So looking for corrosion, looking for any issues as far as difficulty starting, that could be a sign of trouble. If it's 3 years old or older, you need to have that battery checked.
What kind of condition should the hoses be in?
Just check the contact points. They're moving the lifeblood of your vehicle for you. So you want to make sure that they're doing the job properly. Everything's connected, no leaks, no cracks. The hoses are nice and supple.
Those are helpful tips for the outside of your car. What should people think about in terms of an emergency kit?
Well, there's lots of things you can do to prevent trouble later. Even something as simple as an ice scraper brush combo. It's very handy when they telescope. It covers a lot of range, and that's always a good idea. You just want to make sure there aren't any chips or cracks or anything that might get in the way. You want this to perform exceptionally well when you need it. Then you look at something like a simple blanket. You keep it rolled up. You might forget about it, but it's there when you need it, and that's the most important thing. Keep one of those with you this winter. Extra power for your cell phone. You can't have enough of that when you're on a dark and stormy night somewhere and you need help. This is something that might come in very handy. A simple emergency blanket can make a big difference. Again, something small, compact, but very easy to use and very important to have. A basic light, especially one that's very bright, can serve the job. This is actually a keychain light, but there are plenty of other options out there. Even something like this headlamp that keeps your hands and arms free, and you can really focus on doing something if you have to change a tire or something like that. Here are some basic shoe tracks that you can slide over your shoes. They have studs in them to provide extra traction, and that can be very important when you're dealing with snowy, icy conditions. A good emergency kit has lots of different things to offer. Safety triangles, perhaps a poncho, jumper cables, basic first aid. All these different things, again, in a very compact space, but so essential. And it's nice because with an emergency kit, people have done some of the thinking for you. These are some of the most important things to have. Finally, you might consider having a good radio. This is an emergency radio that actually powers by hand cranking. So that's a good idea too. Anything that you can have that's simple, that's easy to use, maybe doesn't depend on a lot of power, is a good idea.
Matthew, thanks for all this useful information.
Oh, my pleasure. And there's 2 great resources people can go to, AAA.com/winterprep and 511.idaho.gov.
Remember to stay safe out there and to make sure your vehicle is in good working order. Thanks for joining us.